The Blind Painter. DVD preview. 1. A work in pairs and discuss the questions. 1. What creative or sporting activities are important to you? How would you feel if you couldn't do them anymore? 2. Which creative or sporting activities would be particularly difficult if you were blind? What problems do you think a blind person would have? Be read about the program. What caused Saji Man to go blind? What happened after he went totally blind? Cataracts caused him to go blind. After he went blind, he continued to paint and his work sells for a lot of money. The Blind Painter AE. Saji Man painted all of his professional life, first as a teacher and later as a professional artist. In his mid-30s, he developed cataracts on both eyes, eventually leading to total blindness. He continued to paint. 25 years later, Saji's work was very popular with art collectors, with paintings regularly selling for more than £50,000, $80,000. He spoke to BBC News about his life and how he continued to work.
My name is Saji Man and I'm a painter. I now live in a little town in North Suffolk with my wife Frances. For 25 years I've been registered blind. My desire has always been to make paintings, to make visual metaphors for my experience of reality. In the early 70s, when I was 34, 35, I got cataracts in both my eyes. With each operation, my sight was getting worse and worse until the eye sort of exploded, and that was the total blindness which I had been trying to prepare myself for years. The idea of painting when you were totally blind seemed a nonsense to me. And so when I came back from hospital, I remember standing in my studio and thinking, you know, now what? I thought, well, I've got this canvas stretched, ready to go. I've got all this paint and my brushes, and I thought, I wonder what would happen if I give that a go. So I brushed ultramarine up there where the sky was, and I had the most extraordinary sensation. I saw the canvas go blue. I painted for about an hour, and then my daughter was sort of walking by and she said, God, Dad, that's beautiful. So I thought, well, there you go, there is painting after blindness, and I've been doing it ever since. Pre-total blindness, I would say I was a landscape painter. And as I got blinder, figures at touching distance became more important. Now, what I had from painting previous paintings with standing figures in was this cardboard tube. It's the height of my wife, and that bit of blue tack marks her chin, that marks her waist, that marks her knees. And I then marked down this standing figure on my canvas, the different heights which correspond to those positions. So I begin to build up a drawing in blue tack. Now, the first thing is to find myself. Now, the thing about these bits of blue tack, of course, is that what they are actually is coordinates. They're not all the same size, and that helps me to find myself, because certain places I put bigger bits.
Well, I'm Christopher Burness, and this is Cadogan Contemporary Art Gallery in London. And on the wall at the minute we have paintings by Saji Man. Since he lost his sight, we have had 3 exhibitions of his work, and they've all been wonderful. We have a lot of really well-known collectors who have his work, extraordinary people like Steven Spielberg and Daniel Day-Lewis. Bruce Springsteen was in the gallery last week. Beyond that, we obviously have major, serious art collectors who collect sagi. This painting is actually now sold, and I suppose prices of this size of painting is now around the area of about £50,000. They're not cosy little conventional paintings. They are edgy, dangerous, they tell stories, they're full of impact through colour. I think they're very individual. It is astonishing, and he is brilliant.
I had to sort of reinvent painting for myself. It seems sort of more or less impossible, but if you're just determined to keep going, you know, you don't need to give up. Because if your subject is your own experience, then as long as you're having an experience, you've got a subject. And that has turned out to be true even into total blindness.
DVD view. 2. Watch the DVD. What does Saji use to help him paint? What do you think of his paintings? He uses a cardboard tube and blue tack to help him paint. 3. A. Answer the questions. 1. What do you know about Saji Man after watching the clip? His name is Saji Man. He's an artist and he lives in a little town in North Suffolk with his wife Frances. For 25 years he's been registered blind. He manages to paint even though he's blind. He paints large colourful painting of landscapes and figures. His work sells for thousands of pounds. 2. Why did Saji start to paint again after he went blind? He didn't know what else to do. 3. How does he use blue tack to help him paint? He uses it as reference points for different parts of the body that he's painting. 4. Who buys his artwork? Well-known collectors and celebrities, including Steven Spielberg, Daniel Day-Lewis and Bruce Springsteen. B. Look at the quotes from the DVD. Try to complete the phrases using the words in the box. Sensation. Go. Edgy. Coordinates. Landscape. Nonsense. 1. The idea of painting when you were totally blind seemed a nonsense to me. 2. I wonder what would happen if I give that a go. 3. I had the most extraordinary sensation. 4. Pre-total blindness, I would say I was a landscape painter. 5. Now the thing about these bits of blue tack, of course, is that what they are actually is coordinates. 6. They are edgy, dangerous. They tell stories. They're full of impact through color. C. Watch the DVD again to check your answers. D. Match the words and expressions from exercise 3B with A, F, below. A. A very strange or unusual feeling. A. Extraordinary sensation. B. An artist who paints the countryside and scenery. B. Landscape painter. C. Experimental or avant-garde. C. Edgy. D. Numbers or information used to indicate a point. D. Coordinates. E. Looked like a silly idea. E. Seem a nonsense. F. To try something. F. Give that a go. 4. Discuss the questions. 1. Do you think that Saji Man would have been such a successful artist if he was not blind? 2. Can you think of other people who have achieved great things despite physical disabilities? Count 60 seconds about you. 5. A 1.7 Listen to Monica talking about herself. Which questions does she answer from the questionnaire below? What does she say?
Unit 1. Recording 7.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something about myself. My name is Monica Nielsen and I live in a small town near Bologna in Italy. I think 3 words that describe me would be happy, talkative and hardworking. One of the things I love about my lifestyle is that I love the house where I live. I live in an apartment with my boyfriend and it's an old apartment in the historical part of town, so it's very beautiful. It's quite small, so I suppose that's one thing I don't like. My favourite smell is the smell of the sea. We live quite far from the sea here, but in the summer I love to drive to the coast and breathe the sea air. It makes me feel good. And finally, if I could change one thing about the past, I would bring my grandmother back. She was a lovely lady, and I miss her a lot.
Who are you? 1. What 3 words best describe you? 2. What is your idea of perfect happiness? 3. What possession is most important to you? 4. What is your greatest achievement? 5. What do you like most least about your lifestyle? 6. What is your favorite sound, smell and taste? 7. What do you always carry with you? 8. Who would be your perfect dinner date? Why? 9. What's your favorite month and why? 10. If you could change one thing about the past, what would it be? Question 1. Happy, talkative and hardworking. Question 5. She likes the house where she lives, but she doesn't like that it's quite small. Question 6. Her favorite smell is the smell of the sea. Question 10. She would bring her grandmother back. B. Listen again. Complete the phrases Monica uses. I'm going to tell you something about myself. I think 3 words that describe me would be happy, talkative and hardworking. One of the things I love about my lifestyle. I suppose that's one thing I don't like. In the summer, I love to drive to the coast. It makes me feel good. C. Prepare to talk about yourself for 60 seconds. Choose 2 or 3 questions from the questionnaire in exercise 5A. Plan your answers. Practice and time your presentation to check you can say it all in just 60 seconds. D. Work in pairs and take turns to give your presentation. Take notes on your partner's presentation. What do you have in common? Write back a personal description. G. A. Read the text. What do you think are Stefan's main achievements? Stefan Wilding in 100 words. Stefan decided to change his degree from pharmacology to studying Thai at the School of Oriental Studies in London. When he finished university, he spent 6 months in Thailand teaching English before coming back to the UK. Unsure of his next move, he spent his evenings and weekends teaching himself how to code. He then got together with some friends to start up their own software business. It was a huge adventure and they learnt a lot very quickly. They have recently won a contract to build a computer platform for a design company, so the future is looking good. He finished university, he taught English in Thailand, he taught himself how to code, he set up a business, he won a big contract. B. Work in pairs. You are going to write a short description of your partner. Check your notes from exercise 5D and ask your partner questions if you think you need more information. Then use the text in exercise 6A to help you write your description, 100 words.